I'm so excited to be here. Who's ready to rock and roll? Who's ready to get going this morning? I know it's 13 seconds, but heck yeah, let's get going. Day 2 of Coach Launch Accelerator. I'm going to stop sharing this for a second and just be here because today is going to be such a powerful day for you. First of all, in the chat, I see you. Jessica's ready. I see you. Is it Ayo? I hope I'm saying that right. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I always want to spell and say your name correctly because you matter to me. So excited. Jean's in the house. We have all our VIPers in the room, seeing you, hearing you, seeing your questions. So yesterday, I want to know what was the one thing you took away from yesterday? Because as I'll tell you over and over again, as a coach, information does not have value. Information is just that. And there's so much of it, there's almost to the point of saturation. So my desire, my heart is that you take away something from yesterday and dive deep with it. So was it micro niching? Was it the one belief that you needed to have? Was it the one action that you needed to have? Was it in the conversation around being in demand? What was it yesterday that was powerful for you that you're going to take into today? Because I can tell you today is going to be boots on the ground, exact things that will move the needle for you. You're not going to want to miss any of it. Jessica's like believing that I'm in demand, believing that they're waiting they're knocking at my door, right? Heather G is saying, change my thinking for a clear path, right? The energy that you show up with when you believe you're in demand is an entirely different one than the decision of showing up hoping they buy. Tell me in the chat when you have a conversation in your mind of, I just hope they buy, what energy and emotion is connected with that? I'm just diving right in. I'm going to show my slides here in a second, but I want to show you how the shift in this one belief literally opens the floodgates for your clients to come in. So if you're in the conversation of, I hope they buy, I really need to create income, I hope, what energy is that you're showing up to the calls or to the lives with? Tell me in the chat. Tell me, yeah. Heather's like, it's fatigue, it's desperation, it's scarcity. And actually, this week's podcast, I'm going to be talking about how you actually hack scarcity. And Jessica's like, fear, vulnerability. So let me ask you this. Do you think people are going to buy, say yes, get coaching when you are showing up fear, vulnerable, tired, and not sure? You're going to close and clamp that down. All right, so we're going to unpack that today. I'm so excited that you're here. So that I'm hoping that like hearing that, it starts to see how powerful that this one belief is. Now I want to ask you the same question on the other side. If we've chosen that I have micro niched, my people need me, and I am in demand, what shows up when you go to make an offer? What is the energy, the emotion? If you know in your mind and you've created a pathway to the belief that I am in demand and my people need me and I need to open the door so I can serve them, how are you showing up to that launch, that live, that call energetically? How are you showing up in that way? So tell me that in the chat, right? Tell me that in the chat. How are you showing up energetically when you know you're in demand and people need you? Right? Tell me, VIP, in the chat. Tell me how you would show up in that way. Yeah, Heather's like, I would show up in confidence. I would be assured that they would be enrolling. In fact, I would need to make sure they knew that they needed to do that. Empowered, right? So if you're showing up confident, empowered, knowing that you can change lives, how much more are you going to enroll? How simple is it going to say? Write the word simple if it's going to be simple to enroll people into your coaching. When you show up empowered, confident, knowing that you can make a change in the niche, in the expectancy, in the overflowing with empowerment, right? How simple will it be for people to say yes to the coaching? You remember, you're going to hear me say this a lot today. Nobody buys coaching. What do they buy? Tell me in the chat. What do they buy? This is just like, I'm going to get this into your sweet brain. They buy what? VIP, what do they buy? Tell me in the chat. They buy transformation. They buy results. Exactly. And remember, a client doesn't say yes to coaching with you. Yes, Jean, exactly. They say yes to solving their problem. So we think they're saying yes to us by saying yes to our coaching programs and products. But what they're actually saying yes to is, yes, I want that result. Their yes is to themselves. Who just had an aha, right? Aha. Like, you're not selling your program. When they're saying yes, they're not saying yes to your program. They're saying yes to themselves. They're saying, yes, I will get this result. They're saying, yes, I will remove this obstacle. And you are the pathway or the help that's going to help them get there. You do not sell. Their yes is not a yes to you. Their yes is a yes to them. So when you're enrolling and you're selling, your job in their lives is to hold that space that they say yes to themselves. I can tell you that feels a little bit different, doesn't it, in terms of selling? If my job when I am enrolling somebody into my programs is helping them see that this is the quickest and fastest way to the transformation or the results they want, and their yes is a yes to them, I am for them the whole time through. And I am not in a scarcity mode. And scarcity is one of those things that will take you out so fast. That's why I did a podcast on it this week. But all right, so let's dive in. We've got so much that I want to cover with you today. So let me pull in I love it when I have to do the tech. My team laughs at me and they're like, oh no, she's doing it. It's not good. So let me pull this back in to the StreamYard. So you should be able to see me and that 5-minute timer, and we're going to dive right in. Say, let's go if you're committed to growing your coaching business. Say, let's go if you're committed to growing your business. I want to hear everyone in the chat. Let's go if you're ready to get your business off the ground, right? So I'm waiting for those let's go because I'm only here for you. I'm only here for you. Jessica's all in, all in. I'm so excited. Let's go. Yeah, Catherine's ready. Let's go. Listen. All right. Now I see you guys are waking up well. I love it. I love it. I love it. You see, this is why I do this at like around noon instead of early in the morning, because I want your brains here. All right. I'm going to say the thing that every person that does live events says, please focus. I'm going to try to be 45 minutes in and out. This that you're going to learn today can literally change the game for you. So let this yes for you be a yes for you. Okay. Let this be the moment that you grow your coaching business. And I was thinking about this morning and how there's a lot of coaches out there selling how to sell as a coach. But let me tell you one thing. If you don't have the belief in your coaching, if you don't have the only way to transform other people's lives through that model, that right model that creates brain-based transformation, I don't care what they sell you to go sell, it will not sell. So people are thinking about joining masterminds and this and that and the other thing. They're chasing that strategy. Please hear me. The number one thing that's going to grow your business, you're going to learn today. And I told you the one belief from the very beginning, because the belief that you're in demand has to get hardwired into your mind. And we're going to do that today. I'm going to show you that process today. And when you're empowered with a tool that you know 100% of the time, you're going to get transformation for your clients, which is going to create a raving fan, which is going to create them going to sell for you. You get the privilege of letting them know about your coaching program. So we need that belief hardwired. Every strategy works. That's why everybody's selling different strategies. I'm going to contend that the best, fastest way for you to grow your business to unbelievable heights is for you to know how to coach the right way and to grow your business fast. There's a right and a wrong way to grow your business. A lot of people are selling you the wrong way. And so we're going to break that down today. I'm going to get off my soapbox, but I love you guys too much to have you fall prey to another marketer that tells you to sell like you would sell this phone when you're selling someone's intimate yes. All right, let's go. I'll get off my soapbox here because I am fired up this morning. So this is the Coach Launch Accelerator. This is day 2. Remember, if you're staying to the end, if you're here live all 3 days, I'm sending you my 7 ways to monetize as a coach. One of these items I used to literally build $1,231,000 in my business, did nothing else. It's in the roadmap that I'm going to send you. So make sure you're here live. the whole time so that you can get that in your inbox. And I want to talk a little bit about what we did yesterday. So yesterday we unlocked the six-figure coaches code. All the thoughts, the actions, and the beliefs at each level of your coaching business. We went over the starting level and we went to the traction level yesterday. We talked about what you needed at the starting level. You need to know who you serve, right? And then at the traction level, we're going to dive deep into that, the growth level today. And then on tomorrow, we're going to talk about how do I move from, as you can see, the income level at the growth is when you hit six figures. So tomorrow I'm going to be breaking down how do you think, act, and be to get from growth, which means I hit six figures, to multiple six figures and seven figures. I'm just curious, does anybody want to be here tomorrow to hear how to develop that 7-figure to 8-figure mindset so that it literally pulls you like a magnet to your growth? Say heck yes, if that, like, you're going to make sure that you are. So that's what we covered yesterday. We uncovered, thank you, Jean, I see you. We uncovered the key belief. Who can tell me in the chat? I see you, Catherine. Who can tell me the key belief that you must hardwire in your mind in order for your business to grow? I want to make sure this landed for you yesterday. What is the key belief that we have to hardwire? And in other words, we have to unhook from the belief that I'm not sure if people want what I have. And we have to connect and build a pathway in our mind that says what? What is the belief that we must have in order to grow a profitable coaching business? Yes, 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 yes. So VIP is all over it. Let me see you in Facebook land and YouTube land. What is it? I am ready now. I am in demand. I am ready now. I am in demand. I am in demand now. Absolutely. So you guys got it. You guys got it. So that's the key belief. And we're going to talk, okay, Shannon, you just said hardwire. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. How do you hardwire this belief? And a little meta moment. This is going to be how you hardwire beliefs for your clients and your future clients. We also talked about the key action that you must have as a coach in order to be successful. Now, this one we talked about a lot over a lot of different things. So I'm not going to, if you have it, if you remember it, put it in. But the key action is there's got to be a connection because they're intimate saying yes to themselves. It's an intimate yes because they're saying, I don't know if I can get to where I want to go alone, or I have this thing and I don't want it and I want to get rid of it. And I need somebody to help me get there fast. So they're buying that result, and that connection is currency. That connection, you would never go on a second date if you did not feel connected on the first date. Can I get an amen? Like if you showed up and you felt like they were more interested in other things and they didn't know what you were in and what was hard for you, and they weren't connected to you or asking you any questions, you would be like, yeah, I'm not going on a second date. Yeah, I don't think so. So the connection is currency. Connection is currency in your life. It's your connection to yourself and your health, and in your business, connection to your clients is very important. Now, we talked about the starting level. We talked about knowing your niche. Who do I serve? We talked through micro niching. Who went deeper with their micro niche yesterday? Tell me in the chat what your micro niche is so that people can hear you in a crowded marketplace. I want to see which one of you are serious about taking your business to the next level, because you can still be a generalist, not be heard, and stay in scarcity, or you can be a specialist that is in demand right now because they can hear you. So what is your micro niche? I want to see it in the chat. Even if it's one layer deep, what is that micro niche? Super important. And the replay is as in the Unleashed Entrepreneur Facebook group. So if you're on day one, you're not late, you're in the right place. Just watch day one after this live. Okay. So over 60, living their best life, moms of neurodiverse teens. Oh, I love that so much. Heather's like professional women, 35 plus, who have experienced sexual assault or domestic violence and are ready to transform from survivor to thriver. I love that. Heather G, there's Heather D and Heather G. Heather G is still working on micro niche. Go live on Facebook this week. Great. let me help you with that. Let me help you with that. Like, where are you stuck right now with your niche, right? So we'll have some Q&A time. We'll be able to do that. Jessica, health and wellness, women, mothers, healing from limiting beliefs, health issues, chronic stress. I want you to go even deeper, Jessica. I want you to go even deeper. What woman? What age is she? Is she a mom? So she is a mom. I see it. She's a woman and she's a mom. What age is she? Because if she's got littles, that's totally different stress than if she has teens or if they're out of the house. Different conversations. Now I know you can help all of them, but where's your sweet spot? Don't worry. The others still are going to get in the boat, but you got to have a sweet spot there. So see how we just keep micro niching. And the great news is, just like I said with Heather, she can test this out on Twitter or on Instagram or on Facebook and start talking about it and see the differences. Heather G says solopreneur ready to expand their business. I love that. So solopreneur, I would say, or is it a certain age? Is it a certain stage? So we just keep going. I'm going to keep going because that was yesterday, but that's it. So traction, we're diving in, by the way. Grab your pencil. Let's go. Who's ready to actually create a business that they can create freedom with? Who's ready to go? Because it requires focus. It requires energy. It requires, I always say, you're not making money, you're earning money. So let's earn it by actually enabling our mind to help us succeed, right? So when we're getting that traction phase, now this traction phase is 30 to 60K in your business. It's a great place to be. In fact, you might be doing it part-time. You might be having this conversation of, I think I'm getting close to quitting my job. And this is really exciting. Biggest need right here is habits. Habits. Like, you're wearing a lot of hats. So habits are going to be huge. Question you're asking yourself is, can I do all this? Because you're still kind of working a 9 to 5. If this is you, say, this is me, say traction in the chat. I need to know if this is you. I want you to write traction in the chat. I want to look at Catherine's niche real quick. I got as far as women in IT that have been in their position or field for at least 5 years and want to change careers. I love that. I love that. So is it what level of IT, right? So you can be playing around with that, Catherine. So good. All right. So where are my traction people at? You've gotten to 30K. So you're on your way to 6 figures. You know that you can sell, but you're wearing all the hats, right? And by the way, if you don't clear the starting phase, some of those issues at the starting phase, meaning if you don't niche down enough, all of those things need to be handled before you move up. So you might feel you're going to default down back to your most complete level. So if you're not complete at the starting, you might find yourself having 30,000, or like whatever that would be creating. So like say $2,000 to $3,000 a month. And then you might find yourself falling back down to 0 and 1,000. Who's on that train where they like sell and they start over again and sell, and then they start over again and sell? It's a challenge. So the question you're asking yourself is, why can't I do this all? It's so much to do. And the thinking has gone from my past creates a solution to my solution solves a problem, meaning you've integrated your past into your solution. I see a lot of the people, my certified neuro coaches, this is a great place they get to, because they've gone from my past solves a problem to my past plus a method and a model combined solves a problem. And so now you're not selling yourself or the transformation that you can create. You're selling a transformation that your solution creates. And you just happen to be the Yoda in the process, right? And so the actions here, you're showing up consistently. You've gone from I want to I can in a belief, which is beautiful. Your identity is that side hustler, wearing all the hats, doing all the things. You're going, you're excited, and you're a little tired. It's okay. And the fear we need to erase here is no one will listen to me. So I want to check in with you right now. That's my critical pattern. That's my pattern. I love it. So you're in the right place, right? So here's the thing. We've got to, if the question is who will listen to me, we've got to find your people. So now we remember the belief is I'm in demand, but I want you to be in demand with the right people. That's micro niching. And then I want you to find your people. Who here needs to find more of your perfect client? Tell me and say perfect client in the chat if you're like, I need to find more of my perfect client. I'm going to take a drink here. Susan in VIP says perfect client. Catherine in VIP says perfect client. So I think there's always a yes for I want my perfect client. Maybe I'm doing one-on-one and then I move to a group, but I'm always looking for my perfect client, right? I'm looking to say, where are they? If you've had a conversation of where my people at, then this is for you. So where are the people that I get to serve? Where are the people I get to serve? Hear that sentence. That sentence infers demand. Did you hear that? That sentence, where are the people I serve, infers that they are in demand. Now, here's the biggest mistake right here. We are in a channel and we're finding our people. And then somebody tells us to go to TikTok. And then we go over there and we start doing this, and like pointing and doing the things. And we're like, I'm not a good dancer. This really sucks. Why do I have to do this? Actually, I love dancing, but I don't do it on TikTok. So we as entrepreneurs, we as creators, we have given the gift from God of a brain that thinks of a lot of ideas. Where are my people with a million ideas, a million things going all the time? Where are my people at? Say, that's me in the chat, or raise your hand in VIP. I see you, Catherine. So like, where are my people that are like a million ideas? Squirrel, 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 squirrel. Oh, I need that. I need that too. I need that too. I need that too. I need that too. And so what will happen is we're starting to look for our people. And then we'll say, okay, I'm in Facebook. Okay, now I'm everybody says YouTube, and we jump ship. Oh, we don't stay in Facebook. We go to YouTube. Oh, YouTube. Oh, it's not growing fast enough. Oh, I must TikTok now. I must TikTok. Whatever fill in the blank that some marketer is telling you is the best place to find your people and the hottest, newest trends, right? Why is this the biggest mistake? Because your people can't find you when you're ghosting. Because your people can't find you. In fact, they were listening to you and then you disappeared. Where'd you go? Where'd he go? I don't know where. Yeah. And so this is the biggest mistake I find. So I'm giving you what I feel is the magic sauce, the secret elixir, all the things that the marketing people say, but it's actually true. This piece is there's one key you need to find your people. Number one, stay on one place. So I tell my 7-figure coaches in my mastermind, one place for 1 year. Then you can get fancy. Simple scales, complex fails. We feel like we have to be everywhere all the time. Then you're spinning your wheels and you're not listening to your people. Find out. Here's the greatest hint. Where are you hanging out when you're numbing your mind with social media? Are you scrolling Instagram? That's where you should be. Like, it really can't be more complicated than that, because write this down. Your vibe, who you are, what you stand for, your vibe attracts your tribe. So if you're hanging out on Instagram, guess where your people are? Yep, they're there too. If you're hanging out on YouTube, guess what? That's where they're hanging out too. So choose one channel, harness that creative part of your mind that wants to go all over the place into one channel. And then we want to expand our horizons, not by opening other channels, but by tapping into these 3 letters, OPA. OPA. That stands for other people's audiences. Now, remember, if you're going from the true law of prosperity, which is what you sow, you reap. So the true law of prosperity, if I'm chasing money, that's backwards. If I need to make money, I'm chasing reaping and I have not sown. And that's backwards, and that's not God's design, and it just doesn't work. And then you're just chasing money, always having to replace money. Who wants to do that? That's hard. That's heavy. That's burnout. But when we really tap into the law that God created for us, and by the way, well, I'm not going to go on it. Listen to my podcast this week. I went on a rant on it. I'm not going to do it here. But if we go into the idea that if I plant seeds, that it has to reap, it has to come back. That is the law. Look at grass, look at trees, look at there's every system, if you sow, you reap. My people that are working a 9-to-5 trying to grow your coaching business, you sow your time, you sow your talent, and you show your energy into that business, then they reward you with a salary. Sowing and reaping. It works here. So why do I want to go to OPA? Well, OPA, other people's audiences, if you're thinking in terms of serving and sowing, not taking and reaping, then you know that if I serve in an audience where my people are at, they've already been cultivated by a leader that's serving and wants to see their people succeed. And you bring something to that party that other person is not bringing to the party. Guess what? You have just served that influencer, that person, on such a high level. So in other words, here's a great example for me. One of my friends that I've known for a while, she helps entrepreneurs manage their money. Well, newsflash, I teach you how to make money as a coach. I teach you how to grow your business as a coach and become a 7-figure coach. That's what I teach you how to do. And then, of course, I teach entrepreneurs how to train their minds. So is to manage their word, their money. That's not my expertise. So she came to me and she said, Shannon, I would love to come into your group and I would love to teach them 3 things they can do right now that's going to put $30,000 in their bank by the end of the year. And I was like, yes, I want to learn that. And I want my people to learn that. Other people's audiences is an act of service. Write that down, because if you had that feeling of who would ask me, then you're not in the belief that I'm in demand and I have a solution that will be serving, right? So we're going to borrow other people's audiences. We're going to serve in their audiences. Could be a podcast, could be their group, could be their Facebook page. Get creative here. Help other audience leaders, just like I described right there. That was a help to me. My people, if they're doing those things, guess what? They're going to be stronger people in my community. They're going to take more inspired action. They're going to win. It's a win-win, right? It's such a win-win. Getting on podcasts, doing live trainings. Here's the thing. I started from zero online, just like you. And then I got to the 12,000 mark, 30,000, 6 figures, multiple 6 figures, 7 figures. Here's the thing. Remember how I said the key belief is I'm in demand. The second is the key action, which is connection. So when you're in connection with other colleagues, maybe even on this call, that they have a superpower and your superpower is different. But boy, if you combine superpowers, you can really serve. Now you're building through sowing instead of reaping. And the reaping just takes care of itself. So finding your people, I want to know in the chat, what's the one channel that you're going to commit to and not squirrel around, right? Now, if you have somebody else posting one thing in other places, fine, but as long as you're not the one doing it. And then I want you to just get creative and say one audience, one other influencer, one other colleague that you know that you could go in and help their people. Just brainstorm right now and put it in the chat. Like, what is the place you're going to be hanging out? And what is the person's name that you're going to reach out to and serve their people? I want to see that in the chat, VIP, and I want to see it in the chat here too. So Elizabeth's like, I'm doing Instagram. And Heather's like, I hang out online. Great. So she's going to be going offline. That's fine. Where are you going to do it? And what's the audience? Take a flyer here. Take a flyer here, right? Who would you go and talk to? Who would you go and talk to? I do not use hypnosis. I actually teach you how to train your brain, not manipulate parts of it. I want you to actually tap into it. So Jessica's going to go to Instagram, and who's an influencer that you really could connect with and serve their audience? In fact, you're probably in their audience because their vibe attracted you, right? So, and they probably have people there that really help your niche. So who is it? So Heather's like, my church is the place where their OPA is there. Yeah. See how she's thinking, really creative. Okay. VIP, you're being quiet. Let me hear it. Where are you going to be hanging out? And who is one person that you can serve in their audience? See, I'm about getting you in action here, as you can tell. Okay, Beth's going to YouTube. I love it. All right, so OPA. All right, now you've unlocked your niche. You've unlocked your belief. You've unlocked your action, and you've unlocked, where do I find my people? Super valuable already, I hope. If this has been valuable so far, if you're seeing how simple, and by the way, I say this all the time to my neurocoach certification clients, simple scales, complex fails. It can actually be simple to make money. So if you want to make money simply and not have it be complex, I want you to write simple scales. Simple scales. Well, we can work on that, Susan. We can work on that. So as you're writing that down, I want to talk about the key number 2 to unlocking that six-figure code. And that is this: make more coaching offers. Make more coaching offers. Now, if you're on one platform, if you've micro niched, if you're in OPA and you're serving and you've really bought into the idea that somebody's yes is a yes to themselves and you're helping them get transformation and results fast, that's what a coach does, then making more coaching offers is vital for them to say yes. Like, how do you know that there's something available? You make it available. Like, how do you know Amazon's having a sale? You open Amazon and they're telling you what's for sale, right? Making more coaching offers now here's the key: without imposter syndrome, without those yucky sales methods that we talked about, and with full authority and confidence. With full authority and confidence. That's talking about like really getting to this growth place where you move past into the six-figure. And I'm just curious, in the live today, are you shooting for, just one or two clients? Are you shooting for six figures in your business? Are you shooting for seven? Can you tell me that in the chat? Where are you aiming? Are you aiming, even if you're just getting started, are you aiming at seven figures? Are you aiming at six? Are you aiming just a couple of clients, like a hobby? Like, where are you aiming? That's super important for me to know. So will everybody write that down? Where are you aiming? So Heather's aiming at seven figures. Susan's six. Catherine's aiming at six. Jessica's aiming at six. What else? Like, there's a lot of you on. So let's get it all. Aiming at seven. Jean's aiming at seven. Aiming at seven. Aiming at seven. A lot of you aiming at seven. I'm aiming at seven because I'm going to go past six, right? I'm aiming at seven because I'm going to go past six. Okay, I love it. I love it. Group coaching program and a handful of cherry-picked one-on-ones. I love it. Past seven figures all the way, baby. Okay. All right. So here's my question to you. When I said make more coaching offers, what thought did your brain give you? What thought did your brain give you? When I said make more coaching offers, what thought did your brain give you? I want to show you how powerful having the right tool available to train your thinking is. So when I said make more coaching offers, what thought did your brain give you? So Jessica had a thought: dang it, that's scary. I'm not a salesman. I can't get clients without asking. What else? Ugh, do I have to? So isn't that interesting? Now, we just talked about how selling is getting somebody the result, right? It's them saying yes to them. But look what thought our brain gave us. I've tried that already, right? Look what thought our brain gave us. And is that thought, tell me in the chat, is that thought going to actually create the business that you want? Is that going to keep, and I'm curious, how did that thought make you feel? How did that thought make you feel? How did that thought make you feel? I'm going to say it a bunch of times. How did that thought, when your brain served this thought to you of who's going to listen to me, of everything that you said, how did that make you feel? I want you to really hone into this. Defeated. Catherine said loser. Small and insignificant, right? So I want you to watch how your brain gives you this thought. And because of the thought, the emotion comes. And now we're going to make offers from small, insignificant, overwhelmed, defeated, sad, tired. Tell me in the chat, is that state of emotion and thought going to create a six-figure and a seven-figure business? Tell me in the chat. I'm so glad, Jessica. I'm so glad. Yeah, no, absolutely not. In fact, it is literally going to have potential clients that would have said yes. It's kind of like being catfished. I don't know why. I've been married 17 years, but I use a lot of analogies of like this. But it's like being catfished. Like if you're on an online dating thing and they put out this image, it's like that, 20 years prior, all these things, and then you get to the thing and they show up and they're like, oh, that's who you really are. I was gonna say yes, but I'm gonna go to the bathroom and I'm out. Right? Why? Because you're letting your brain give you a thought that is literally going to stop you from being able to offer and make more coaching offers. Does this make sense? If this makes sense, say aha in the chat. If this makes sense, say aha in the chat. So now I'm making you see that no matter what, if we do not train our brains that we are in demand, if we do not train our brains to truly transform of this thought, then it doesn't matter what sexy sales system I give you. This is the thought that's going to govern your sales calls. Okay. So here's the thing. I don't want you to catfish yourself, right? Because anybody, like, of the thoughts that you had, the thought that your brain gave you, does anybody say no way if you don't want to keep that thought? Say no way in the chat. If you're like, no way, I do not want to keep that thought. I do not want to keep that thought. Say no way. No way. Right? So your intuition tells you, I'm not on my watch, Jean says. So your intuition's telling you that thought does not serve my vision, yet your brain served you that thought. So there's a process. So see, most people just get served the thought, believe that thought, and then try to sell and it doesn't work. And they say, I just may give up. Has anybody been in that place? I just give up. Right? I just give up. So here's the thing though. I'm not going to be a bad coach. There's bad coaches out there that says, just think a different thought. Well, here's the thing. You are so smart. If you could just think a different thought and it never thought that thought again, you'd have done it already. That's what really bad coaching does. So we're going to break into like, okay, well, how do I get my brain to not serve me that thought? Thank you very much. Okay. So here's my next question. And we're going to dig deep into this. In your mind right now, what is in between where you are and selling $10,000 a month and being in high demand? In your mind right now, what is in between where you are right now and selling 10,000 plus a month and being in high demand, having a waiting list, opening the doors, thinking of groups because there's just so much demand? What's in between where you are right now? Tell me in the chat. And being in that place. Those are, I want you to picture there are two different islands. So what's in between that in your mind? So this is a fun observation of just observing what your mind is giving you, right? So Susan says, having my program and website built, that someone has a place to find me, my thoughts, my actions, my limiting belief, my job. Heather's like, my job is in the way. No time to work on business, finishing the website, workbook, Patreon. Okay. So your brain serves you all of this doingness, right? All this doingness, yet we don't have the belief that we're in demand. So we can get busy finishing a website, doing a workbook, doing the Patreon. Jessica's hit it, right there. We can enroll our brain, can enroll us in the fact that I have no time, right? Heather. And we can enroll ourselves in being overwhelmed, frustrated, thoughts of scarcity. Where are my people at? I got to do all this stuff. Or we can choose what we want our brain to service. So I want to dive into making more coaching offers really quick. The biggest mistake that I see is entrepreneurs will just you notice a trend, right? We have squirrel syndrome. So we'll make an offer, it won't work, and then we'll make another offer, it won't work, and we'll keep pivoting. I'll offer them this, I'll offer them this, I'll change my message, I'll move here, I'll move there. Biggest mistake that I see is just creating new. It satiates us for the moment, but I want to introduce an idea, a simple sales system for you. This is an advanced training, by the way. This is something that I teach inside the certification. I'm going to high level teach it to you, but who in here would love to just know how simple it could be to sell? Like that it doesn't have to be complicated. All those things that you wrote down, don't need to actually happen right away. But if we're going to make more coaching offers, we really need to pick our platform. So we all picked our platform already. Isn't that awesome? You guys already picked your platform, because I was challenging you yesterday with this morning with picking your platform. One platform, not 21. And you're going to go live. You're going to actually tell people who you are, what you do, and how you can help. Now, the challenge here, and tell me if this is the challenge that you just had, if your brain served you a thought of fear. What if people don't think I'm good enough? What if I don't know what to say? What if I can't, what if I don't know? What if somebody says something bad? What if my Aunt Ida watches it and makes me feel horrible? What do you think you're doing? Like, your brain will serve you fear at this place. Are you going to receive that thought as truth, or are you going to challenge that thought of fear? Right? So pick your platform, hit the go live button, so people can actually get to know you and hear how you can serve their desired results. So step number 2 is, just talked about it for like a good 20 minutes, the whole idea of sowing and reaping. I'm not seeking to reap, I'm seeking to serve. So I'm hitting the go live button. I know fear shows up. Okay. But we just say, get in the back seat, not the front seat. It's not that fear's not going to show up, you guys. It's that we put it in the back seat. Say, thank you. I'm going to relabel that as excitement, and I'm going to go live anyway. Thank you very much. And I'm going to serve. I'm going to serve where they're the most pain. I'm going to serve their desired future self. And the challenge here is everything we've talked up to now. Micro niching enough, going into OPA, finding your people, getting known like that, right? So this method kind of clears the field and allows you to start to be seen and heard by the right people. Because why? Because you're asking them for a sale right away? No. You're serving them. You're meeting them in their pain and their desired future. The key here is knowing how to coach to transformation. The key here, here's the thing. I want to ask you this question. If I said go live right now, but you knew you could coach somebody live and they would get a transformation 100% of the time, and because of that, people would sign up for your coaching, would you feel confident? Write the word confident. If you knew exactly how to coach to transformation, that you could do this live thing all the time because you know 100% you're going to get that result. So I'm seeing confident. So you can see that the key is not sales strategies. The key is knowing how to coach to transformation, right? And so this third piece of this simple sales system is just offering an opportunity to go deeper. Wait a minute. So I just show up, I serve deeper, I have the model, meaning you're getting certified in the model and you know the model. So you're just able to get that transformation for them live. You just say, if you want to go deeper, just like this, put the word deeper, put the word yay, put the word, you know how I've been talking to you back and forth, just like that. Put whatever word you want to say, and then that code word gets them to a free call. Now, the challenge here is, what do I do once I have them on the call, right? And we deep dive into that in the certification, how, like your consulting call, how you really serve them on that call, and how you create an opportunity for them to say yes to themselves. But do you see how simple making more coaching offers gets to be when we believe we're in demand, when we believe we own the space online, when we believe that I can serve people, I can talk and help them through their pain and get to their desired future. And I have a model that I can trust to get that transformation, right? So these 3 steps of what we call Coach Launch Formula, we deep dive in the first week of the certification. So we've talked about knowing your niche, your specific people, right? We've talked about finding your people with OPA, and we've talked about making more coaching offers and actually scaling and selling simply by this Coach Launch Formula. Because remember, as I said at the top yesterday, there are people who sell items. These are marketers. And there's people who sell coaching. It's an intimate yes, right? So simplicity is key at that point. Now, I think at this point, everybody that wrote confident knows that it doesn't matter how you sell or your niche or where your people are at if you don't know how to coach the right way. So I want to talk about the neurocoach model that you've heard me talking about. You've heard me talk about when I'm asking you questions about what thought your brain is giving you. And you've heard me say you need to hardwire the thought. So there's two things always going on in your mind. You're always building, and for your clients, your mind and your clients' minds, right? Because transform people. And so you're always building what I call a success pathway. There's a switch. Everybody switches off. You actually have to go in and build the pathway to get to your desired state. So that's one. And number two, we've got to go in and we've got to remove the thoughts that don't serve us. You guys have uncovered some of those thoughts today when I said make more coaching offers. Boom. There was those, I call them weeds. Think of them like planting nightshade. It's choking out your business, right? So knowing that you can have confidence, like radical confidence, knowing that as soon as you coach them, they're getting transformation. This is the linchpin. I want you to write it down. This is the linchpin to a 6 and 7 figure coaching business, knowing how to coach the right way. When you know how to coach the right way, your clients get transformation, deep transformation, life-changing transformation, massive level of transformation and impact. And guess what they do? They shout from the rooftops, you've got to work with Jean. You got to work with Catherine. You got to work with Susan. You've got to work with Diane. You got to work with Heather, because I was here and now I'm here. And it wasn't hard. It was fast. Okay. So who here wants to know how to coach the right way? Say coach in the chat. Say coach in the chat. I always call this entrepreneur church, because if you've ever been to church, they go back and forth, or at least the ones I like to go to. So yeah, so let's dive into how to coach the right way. So this is a proprietary coaching model that I talked about yesterday that I discovered when I was trying to solve the problem of my entrepreneur glass ceiling and just got obsessed enough to go get a PhD in neuropsychology. So I always say I have the doctor, which actually stands for desperate enough, not super wickedly smart. Okay. So here's the thing. It's how to coach the right way and set up a real coaching business. This transformational model is how the brain creates success in all areas of life, health, relationships, business. Your brain is the operating system, and it accommodates any problem, any niche, any topic, any behavior, any habit, any results your clients want to create or remove or change. Why? Because your mind, your brain is in control of the thoughts that you're thinking, which is creating the success or the failure, the habits and the wealth. It's how your brain is wired, and how your client's brain is wired is how to transform. And it's brain-based and science-backed. Now, here are the 3 secrets, and I don't love using that word, but they are secrets to most people. There is 3 secrets. I'm going to put them all here. And we'll just talk about them. First, you got to create a brain-based transformation, not a surface level shift, not a neurolinguistic programming, subconscious shift on a 20-minute call that they lose as soon as they get off the call because their network isn't the same as yours, which I believe is causing harm. I take a stand for that. You also get to use the system the brain has already there to remove the blocks. So the blocks like who will listen to me, the things that came up when I said make more coaching offers, those are blocks. I want you to picture your foot on the gas and your foot on the brake at the same time. It's not that you're not doing the right things. Your foot's on the gas. You're doing the right stuff. But with your foot on the brake, tell me what happens when you're driving and you put your foot on the gas and the brake at the same time. Tell me what happens in the chat. Tell me what happens. This is a better way for you to have this really land for you. Tell me what happens. If you put a foot on the gas and the brake at the same time, what happens? It spins. It doesn't go forward anymore. It burns rubber. It does not. It causes a few problems. It destroys the engine. So that's what happens when we're trying to do all this affirmationally stuff that is only surface level, and we do not use the system the brain has to not just quiet the thoughts, but to remove the blocks, meaning the pattern that triggered the thought that you had about making more coaching offers. Let's use the brain system to actually remove it, so that when I say make more coaching offers next time, you go, oh yeah, right? And that thought doesn't fire. That's the difference between symptom level, surface level coaching and true transformation. Who's having an aha right now? Who's having a say aha if you're like, oh my gosh, aha, I get it. Right? So secret number 3 is building that automatic success pathway, meaning it's the pathway that fires. So well, I'll get into it. Hang on. So here's the secret number 1. This is how you build brain-based transformation. This is part of the neurocoaching model called STEBDAR. You witnessed it. I actually walked you through this when we were talking earlier. The situation is neutral. Yes, the situation is neutral. The situation of COVID was neutral. The situation of making more offers is neutral. It's the thought that you have about that situation that creates either great emotions, I'm in demand, or the emotions that don't serve you, like who will listen to me, right? So the thought creates the emotion. Remember before when I said, well, how do you feel when you feel like you're in demand? I feel amazing, empowered, incredible. How do you feel when you feel like no one's going to listen to me, defeated? So thought creates emotion. We know this from science now. We know that the thought center of the brain fires before the emotional center of the brain. Here's the other thing that we know. This is going to blow your mind, no pun intended. 90% of your daily decisions and therefore actions and therefore your results do not come from this thinking brain that creates your goals. It comes from your subconscious, automatic, programmed place of your mind. Meaning that place that just fired off for you, nobody's going to listen to me, that part. That's a pattern that's been in automation running 90% of the time. So how does something get into automation? A thought becomes an emotion combined after being repeated enough to become a belief. So when I said we need to hardwire the belief, I am in demand, it's this place, this belief line is where the subconscious takes over. The subconscious is a beautiful thing. Its system is designed to not have you expend energy. We have 60,000 thoughts per day. And if we actually had to think all those thoughts, we wouldn't get out of bed. And so your brain is this beautiful mechanism hardwired to help you with whatever you think and therefore feel over and over again. And it has no morals. It has no vision board. It does not know your goals unless you're repeating them enough. And it creates this belief, and this belief goes into automation and runs 90% of your decisions, actions, and results. This is where your identity gets created. Your I am not, I am just. This is where those identity statements come from. And it's from this belief that you create the decisions that you're thinking about, and then therefore the actions that you take, and therefore the results that you get. So if we want different results, we reverse engineer the actions, the decisions, and the belief that we must have, and then we create something. I'm going to show you how we do that. But who is like, oh my gosh, now I understand why I keep sabotaging myself. Now I understand why I keep getting into imposter syndrome, why I keep stopping and starting, why I haven't been able to get it off the ground yet. Who has had, like, just write STEBDAR if you're like, oh my gosh, I see my brain now. Now I see my brain. It's not, you don't have to judge what's happened. You don't have to judge your patterns. By the way, all of these patterns, if you haven't done this work, came from your environment of origin when you were growing up. None of you consciously chose this. So that's great news. It's not your fault, but we use this model to coach through for yourself, of course, but then also for your clients so that they can get very clear on the belief patterns that they are firing with and then make different choices. All right. So we're going to move because I know it's getting close to the top of the hour. I'm going to talk quick now. Coaching secret number 2 is the brain's block removal system. And I think this is the one that everybody's like, that's the one I'm most interested in, because if we remove that brake, then it all works, right? If we take our foot off the brake, it all works. So this is something called the mind matrix. 4 simple steps. You can see them right there that we deep dive into. It's literally like building with big chunky Legos. We take the thought, we recognize the thought, we record it in a very specific way, we refute it in a very specific way, and then we literally build a wiring, meaning super simply listen to audios that pull that thought out of our mind. It's the most, I would say it's so simple that the 97% should be the 3%. But most people, unlike you, because you're here, you're thinking thoughts that like the top 3% would. This is the stuff they're doing. I've had a conversation, spoke right before Damon John, and Damon John came back on. Everybody knows Damon John's Shark Tank, right? So I'm talking to an 8-figure mastermind. I'm talking about the mind matrix, I'm talking about the STEBDAR. And I'm talking about brain priming, which is I'm about to tell you about. And Damon John walks on the stage right after me. And he's just looking like he's giving me the look. You know what I'm saying? Like the mad dogging kind of look thing. I'm like, gosh, what did I do? Did I offend them? Like, what happened? And he got up there and he said, if you just do what she just showed you, you will be exactly like me, because that's exactly what I did. And then he went into it. So I'm telling you, this is the key, using the brain's block removal system. And then the third coaching secret, which all of this, of course, we deep dive, unpack for you in the certification, is building this automatic success pathway. I want you to think of brain priming as like the switch. The switch is off right now. And through the process of brain priming, you literally flip the switch on, build the freeway, and then it goes into automation, meaning all the dreams, vision, desires, business, health, relationships, all of those things get hardwired in, and it fires 90% of your daily decisions, actions, and results. So I'm just curious, out of the three, STEBDAR, which is the coaching methodology, Mind Matrix, which is the process of block removal system, and brain priming, which is building that success pathway, which of those do you think would benefit you the most? Which of those are you just like, oh, that's what I want to learn first. Like, I want to learn that first. Yeah. So I want to see that in the chat. All right. So let me keep going here. Oh, I love bragging. So I'm going to brag on a few people. Carol's one of our certified master neuro coaches, and she has increased income in so many different sources. She's got multiple streams of income now, different sources, and she's serving in such a high level. So this is an inside out model, right? It's not an outside in. It's not a symptom based. It's these methods have to be taught to apply it. It's very different to watch me coach somebody through it than it is to actually learn the process. There's a proper way to use it with clients. There's specific questions you ask, things you need to be aware of, mistakes that you need to be aware of. Honestly, it's the most valuable tool I can give you. This is the tool that hacked me. And then, as I said in the beginning, I'm not a special unicorn. So I started using it with my one-on-one clients. In addition to my business coaching, their businesses, literally one of them, 2 weeks, 6 figures to 8, 2 weeks. Imagine that kind of shift, right? Imagine that shift. And why? Because they tapped into this neuro coach model. It's the most valuable tool I can give anyone. And I talked about this early on. The brain's the most important and most valuable tool we have. We use our brain to create money. We use our brain to create more time. And I'm not sure yet. We haven't gone this far yet, but we can't create more brain. I wish we could. That would be fantastic if we could. But we can become certified in the neurocoach model. So our brain allows us to get more of everything else that we want. And I created this model. I'm the author of it. And I've been using it. Actually, I need to change that I started thinking, I'm like, wow, it's more like 16 years. I always say it's magic. It's not. It's brain science, but it's how I've built my business. It's how my certification clients have built theirs. And it's the fast way to truly grow a coaching business. It's source-based. And we've talked about this, how surface level coaching cause harm. So if anything, I don't want you walking away thinking I can just give people pattern shift or tell them what I did and expect them to get a result, right? Now, there's a difference between teaching and coaching. I hope I'm not going to go deep into that, but you might have, like, say if you're a health coach and you're teaching things to do, that's teaching. That's not coaching. Coaching is when they're in breakdown over those things and you're getting them past the breakdown. Do you see the difference? So every coach results that you're getting, you're going to give some teaching, and most of the time you're going to be coaching. I just want to make sure that lands for you. I love how Nelda she'd retired. She came out of retirement and started monetizing a new business after she got certified. So I have a question for you. For those that are still here live, I would like to show you the opportunity to get certified through the NeuroCoach certification. And for those that are like, I've got to jump, but I need the link, you're just going to want to go to apply. You want to go to beacertifiedcoach.com. So Jen, if you could pop that link in, because I know we're at the top of the hour and a lot of people want to get on our calendar and talk to us, see if it's a good fit. And I want to make sure that they get that opportunity in case they have to jump ship. And I'm not seeing it yet. So please, Jen, put beacertifiedcoach.com in the chat. And I'm looking at what everybody is so excited for. That's really, really cool. All right. And actually, if you don't mind, Oh, it's difficult for you to decipher. Okay, we can talk about that a little bit tomorrow. Thank you very much for putting that link in there for all locations, if you could, please. There we go. And also in Zoom. Okay, so I would love to share this opportunity with you and just tell you what's in it. This, I believe, and I've witnessed through all our certified neuro coaches, is by far the fastest and easiest way to sell simply in the marketplace, sell out your program, have raving fans sharing your coaching, and actually deeply serving and impacting. So I'm going to dive in. I'm going to go fast. It's a 6-month brain-based neuroscience-backed coaching certification. I want to be a life coach. Great. It's a coaching certification for life coaches. I want to be business coach. It's a certification for business coaches. I want to be a health coach. It's a certification for life or health coaches. How can you say that, Shannon? Because it's a certification in coaching to transformation, right? So 2 main goals of the certification. I want to be really honest. 2 goals, always important to me. First of all, I don't want you to have a coaching hobby. I want you to have a coaching business. So in the very beginning, we actually show you how to grow your coaching business fast through the coach launch formula that I gave you a little glimpse into today. We release that right away and we walk with you right away with it, because when I can get you in the belief that you are in demand, you start selling out your programs fast. And the beautiful side product of that is you cover the cost of your certification. Yay. So that's a high priority for me. I don't want to see you have a coaching business, not a coaching hobby. The second is I want you to coach the right way, because there is a right and a wrong way to coach. And you can't unhear that after today. And so to be the best in the industry, you want to be certified with the right model. So here's the stages for the certification. First, transformation. You get access to our coaching program, because transformation transformed people transform people. We call that program right now 67-day year. You get access to that coaching. The Sync Neuro Coaching model, which I just described to you, brain priming, mind matrix, the STEP DAR, and how you do all the right questions. You get full training with that. You learn the entire process, the entire model. And honestly, it is the gold standard. I'm never going to degrade anybody else's certifications, but here's what I'm going to say. This is the only one that's complete on how the brain transforms, right? Not just tell them to think different thoughts, give them thoughts to actually hardwire thoughts. It's a night and day difference. The stages after that is mastery. You're going to do practice goal guided role play and small group session certifications by a master certified neurocoach instructor with live feedback. You are going to feel so confident that you can coach through this model by the time you leave, and you'll be coaching live with live clients, because you will have sold through coach launch formula that you are going to just be in demand. Like word is going to get out in your niche, and monetizing is a really important part of it. If you're just getting started, growing or scaling, wherever you're starting from, getting your first clients, then learning how to build that profitable coaching business. And you get all the licensed tools, lifetime updates, programs, worksheets. We're just about to add this section on building abundance in the mind. That's what I'm talking about this week in the podcast. This is something I'm going to be adding to the certification. There's actually a brain-based way to create abundance, and I want to teach you that. And then, of course, you get a box of goodies. This time around, I'm going to do something really different with this cohort that is in the next group of certification clients. Is we're going to actually, have you ever been there? Like, you've gotten cool swag bags and you're like, wow, that was really awesome. I'm actually going to have you guys decide what we're going to put in the swag bag for you. Like, so we're in the creation process, and I'm like, why don't I bring them in on the creation process? And so that's going to have, of course, you're going to get the program manual, all the worksheets. I always say that this is like your coaching business in a box, meaning you get started. You don't have to create. You get to just go coach, transform, change lives, make impact, and create freedom. I teach the concepts via video. The manual is there for those that are more visual. You do the worksheets. You have your weekly application call with your master certified neuro coach. You get practicums, coaching swaps, peer swaps. And then I'm in there once a month. You can get coaching with me once a month. And I'm just going to I'm not going to say all of these things, but these are the things that we tackle in the certification. We really dive deep. So many topics that I would take too long to go through, but we're really diving deep into some of the biggest breaks that get in the way. So really, it's transforming people. You're getting coaching, and then it's learning the model. so that you are the gold standard in the coaching business, mastering that model in a very small group at your level, by the way. So if you're like just getting started, and if there's those that have been at it and they're in scale, we want to kind of group you, and then the big group together is pretty powerful. And then we want you monetizing. No coaching hobbies on my watch. No coaching habits on my watch, right? So I want you to learn how to build a profitable, there's the word, not a marketing business that says they made millions and they've spent $1 million and one. How about a profitable coaching business that creates that lifestyle that you are wanting while you're making legacy and impact, right? So this is the process that you go through in the 6 months. It's really the confidence to know exactly how to coach your clients to break through each and every time, creating those raving fans. I can't say it enough. This is the simplest scaling method on the planet. We can be more fancy, but how about letting it be simple? Sounds pretty amazing, right? Let them sell for you, create raving fans. Know that you're going to get new coaching clients each and every month. That scales your business, learning the Coach Launch formula 1, 2, and 3. So you go from just starting to growth to scale. And here's the key. There's a lot of coaches in the marketplace, but there's no one that is more certified, that has more credentials, that has more confidence than those that are coached and certified through the NeuroCoach certification. Like Alex, some of you might know Alex. She is actually a coach on our team now and runs her own business. She literally started and launched her first virtual summit as a NeuroCoach in the first couple of weeks. And now she's in partnership. She has multiple streams of income. She was just at our 7-figure coach mastermind. Really, really cool. So those are the kind of results that you can expect once you have your certification and you know how to use the NeuroCoach model. I always say it's Sync NeuroCoach model. That's our branding on it, but NeuroCoach model, because it's brain-based and science-backed. Okay, so I'm going to just whiz through this really quick. Sync NeuroCoach certification. I always say the value is in the millions because that's what it's created for me, but I have to put a value on it. So $36,000 valid for any coaching, certified life, certified business, certified health. And I've put down there the link to get on the calendar to have the discussion of if it's a right fit for you or if you're a right fit for us. We are, it is an invite only. So we want to make sure that you are there. So the certification of itself, $36,000 value, but I want to show you what else we include in that. We give you access to our coaching program. Of course, transform people, transforming people, right? So that brings that value already close to 40,000. But we also know what else you need. So we know you need coaching. We know you need the certification. We also give you access to Coach Launch Formula in the first week to get your coaching business launched or scaled, which is the exact system I use to get over 7 figures, nothing different. And that brings that value like over almost $50,000 at this point. Again, I'm meeting you with exactly what I needed because I know what you need at this point. So the certification, the access to the coaching, the Coach Launch Formula, and then you also get access to what I call business in a box, your coaching business in a box. It gets released for you. And it's literally every process, strategy, tactic in one place that you'll be able to refer to over and over and over and over again. As I said, your coaching business in a box. It's $35,000 in value. I sold it by itself at one point for just our 7-figure mastermind. And so that brings the value to over 82,000. And I'm just going to throw all these things. You also get your application call. You also get your master neuro coach guiding you, sharpening your skills, practicums, exams to gain confidence. So now the value for the certification, well over $100,000. Everybody's like swallowing, like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I want to get certified for that. So why am I continuing to add things? Because I know what you need to grow. So everything that I just talked about, all the way down to the practicums, all models, worksheets, exercises, manuals, lifetime access to the certification. And my favorite part is the community. Imagine a room where everyone wants to see you succeed. I see partnerships formed out of the certification. I see people doing summits together. I see them scaling together. You need a room that is for your success, right? So there's no higher value than that. So we're almost at $150,000 in value. I believe, like I said, millions. I think Lori would say the same thing. She had an old course. She got certified, dusted it off, and tripled her prices, right? Liz, she was leaving the military and started on her own 6 months later has 1,000 followers. She is, I believe, on to 6 figures now. So the cost of the certification, now we have payment plans. I'd be glad to finance it for you. It's an 18,000 certification for 6 months. I know we have payment plans. You can talk to Barbara about it. You're going to go to beacertifiedcoach.com, and to hold your spot, she'll have you do a $500 deposit, and you can figure out what works for you. If you pay it in full, you get a price discount. If you need me to finance you, I would be glad to do that, because I believe in you and I believe in what you have to offer in the world. And you can talk to Barbara about which one of those financing plans makes the most sense. But here's the key. What I hope you've learned today. And of course, we've got more tomorrow. So let me talk about tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to go deeper into, oh, hang on one second. I need to tell you this. Go to beacertifiedcoach.com. So we're going to really get into unlocking that 6-figure code tomorrow all the way. How do I get all the way through that code? Let me see something. 1 second. Yep. Okay. I'm actually going to whiz through this because I've answered all those. So you just want to go to beacertifiedcoach.com and have the conversation with Barbara. Because here's the thing, I don't want you trying to grow a coaching business, chasing strategies, using broken coaching models, and having thoughts that are not serving your selling, and give up when you have arguably some of the most powerful situations, helps, things that you can do, and impact that you can make. And here's the thing, I do not want you to let that go to the grave with you. So I'm going to ask you, it might be like, I know it costs. I got to ask my husband, bring your husband to the call. Here's the thing. You're spending money now on things that, and you don't get a higher quality brain. You don't have a higher quality business. You're chasing things that don't work versus chasing the things that do. When you invest in your confidence, you invest in your skill. You go to college to invest in skill. This is going to duplicate, triplicate, quadruple what you could do in college. What do we spend? $200,000, $300,000 to go to college, where this investment allows your brain to grow and allows you to know how to coach the right way so you can create those raving fans. And once you learn it, you can't unlearn it. You'll have sold out coaching programs, right? So go to beacertifiedcoach.com, talk to Barbara. She is our master certified trainer. She'll tell you if it's not right for you. We really make sure that you are a right fit. And so she'll tell you if it's not right. She'll also tell you if it's right, and it's time for you to truly know how to coach the right way. And it's time for 2023, this coming year, to be the year that you see come to fruition the dreams, the vision, the heart, the desires, the impact, the legacy that you yourself have really wanted to create. Look, I don't want you to hope and wish. I want you to have the strategy, the plan, the tactics, but more importantly than that, I want you to know how to transform people's lives. And when you know how to do that, you sow the biggest gift you could ever sow in a person's life. And what comes back is this beautiful business that your life is about transformation. And that reward, that what gets reaped from that, creates legacy for you, creates freedom for you. And it gets to be light and simple and fun and enjoyable and deeply, deeply rewarding. So go to beacertifiedcoach.com. And we're going to, of course, tomorrow I'm going to tell you more details on that. But let's talk about tomorrow real quick. Tomorrow, we're going to unpack for you the final key steps to unleash you in that 6-figure code. In other words, some of you said I'm shooting for 6. Some of you said I'm shooting for 7. Those are specific things that we need to unpack so that you know how to think, what thoughts you need to believe, and what steps you need to take to unlock those levels. We're also going to talk tomorrow about the number one thought getting in your way that will literally stop your results cold. And we're going to unpack that thought and actually work on rewiring that thought together live tomorrow. And then I'm going to show you tomorrow also how to flip that scarcity switch off. Like, who here would like their scarcity switch to be flipped off and the abundant flip switch to be flipped on? right? I kind of laugh that I say the scarcity switch off, but I like to say flip the scale, like literally. Like I'm not somebody who flips people off, but if there's anything worthy of being flipped off, it's that scarcity switch, right? And flip the abundance switch on. And for those of you, we're also going to do some live coaching, some Q&A, and we're going to land this plane when you leave tomorrow with all the what's the word I'm looking for? The like the dashboard that you need to clearly, simply, and easily get to where you're going in your coaching business. And for those of you who are ready to do it fast, for those of you who are ready to like in the next, imagine in 6 months, everything that you're dreaming about in your business has happened because you're a transformed person transforming people. You've removed those limiting beliefs that have held you back. You've used the mind matrix, you've brain primed, you've used step dart, and now your mind is in a place where you are in demand, that you know your perfect niche, you're growing alongside other coaches, and you are just making more coaching offers, and people are getting to know you, see you, hear you. You're transforming their lives. They're raving about you to other people. And then you get a better quality problem. The better quality problem is, Shannon, I have so many clients. I need to think about doing this differently so I can serve even more. So, right, serve more. If you're like, that's the problem I want to end up with 6 months from now, is that I have so many clients because I'm coaching the right way and because I'm following a simple scale process to do it, that I know that I'm in demand. And when you're in demand like that, that creates this overflow, and then you creates these great problems. I say you have great problems when you know I have so many clients. I need to start thinking about a way to serve more clients at the same time, right? And that's what happens when you get certified in the neurocoach certification. So that's what I have for you today. Go to beacertifiedcoach.com, get on a call with Barbara. Let's make this year, even 6 months from now, life-changing for you and for your family. And let's do it together in an environment where you're supported to excellence and you actually create the result that you're looking for. All right. I will see you back here tomorrow, 12 p.m. Central Time, which is 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. And we are deep diving into unlocking that one belief, unlocking the 6 and 7 figure part of the code, and flipping off the scarcity switch and flipping on the abundance switch. I cannot wait to see you tomorrow, 12 p.m. Until then, bye for now.